Hi, I'm Anthony Di Pasquale, and today we're going to talk about fasting.
Hello, and I'm John Hadzi, personal trainer and nutritionist.
I'm very lucky to know John. He's the doctor of fasting, and he's influenced me over the years to keep up with my fasting. In fact, he does a lot more detox. He's a lot more serious about it than I am. A lot of people talking about detox as well. But first, I'd like to talk about fasting from a muscular point of view. So what can you tell us in terms of the older research on that?
Well, the Russians have some pretty interesting research, Anthony, and that is when they restricted many various types of athletes from protein, specifically for short durations, they saw that during supercompensation, when they reloaded on protein, they got bigger and stronger. And these are athletes from jumping to running to climbing.
Wow. And this research goes back
to the 1930s.
Okay. Now we've got some newer guys like Tajborn Ackerfeld and Ori Hofmeckler that are talking about muscle mass and body composition and fasting, although these guys are talking about, Ackerfeld is more cycling the calories and Hofmeckler is more about fasting for 16 hours, 18 hours, like part of the day, where I'd rather fast for a full day or longer.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that, Anthony. 16 hours is definitely a good start, but that by no means is that really a hardcore fast.
See, because now we can segue into a health point of view. Fasting has been done traditionally for spiritual reasons and for health reasons. And when we fast, we detox the body very quickly, and it doesn't take a lot of equipment. I mean, one of the fasts I have on my website is just stop eating and have some fruit and water all day, so it's a modified fast. So you tried this clay here. What did you think of it?
Actually, Anthony, I've used green clay for most of my fasts, and I like it very, very much.
Okay.
As we know, green clay absorbs a lot of contamination from the stomach. But this zeolite that you have, I found it very interesting. I felt very good on it. I didn't get the gas and the bloating that I sometimes get with the original normal green clay, although I'll use either or both.
So it might be strange, the concept of consuming clay when one is fasting, because you're like, am I going to crap out a brick, or what's going to happen here? And the reason why John and myself consume clay, and many people in the past have consumed clay, is to turn on the detox more profoundly when you're fasting, because it sucks toxins out of your body as it's passing through your gut. Now, you're mentioning earlier about regularity when you're fasting.
Absolutely. What I found is that when you're fasting, and many people have done this, and it's to be commended, there are people out there that fast, but what needs to be said is you want to move your bowels daily. As funny as this may sound, and it becomes a kind of a personal issue with some people, it's critical that you move your bowels daily. This is the area that people need to focus on, and by utilizing clay in a fast, you will definitely do that.
And also fiber to push the clay along. I've got this fiber with me that you tried as well.
I actually like the taste of that stuff very much.
This is sprouted flax and sprouted chia, and it's kind of looks like bran. Bran I would never recommend, because wheat is one of the most allergenic foods in our whole diet. So this looks like bran, but it's made out of flax and chia. They're sprouted, and it's a super high source of fiber, actually much higher in fiber content than bran.
And Anthony, doesn't wheat have estrogen esters in it?
It does have sterols that'll have some estrogen activity. I guess my bigger issue against wheat would be that it's such a huge allergen, and the wheat of today is so. It's not technically genetically modified, but it's so hybridized. It's so genetically dissimilar to the wheat that our forefathers would have eaten. I don't think it's a healthy food. I will occasionally eat it. After all, I am Italian. And I have another fiber here, which is psyllium husk. I kind of mix this one up with the flax and chia. And so, as John was saying, it's very important to go to have bowel movements, to poop when you're fasting, because when you're fasting, your liver's eliminating all kinds of toxins and pushing them out through the gallbladder, pushing them out into these intestines. We could just reabsorb them unless we're regular. So it's like a final word. Like John, I could talk about muscle mass, and people are like, well, look at this guy, he's not very big. John weighs like, I think, over 260 last time you broke a scale. He's probably the strongest guy I've ever met in my life. Certainly the strongest guy I've ever trained with. Just like freaky strength. What have you noticed about your strength and your muscle mass taking a fast that's kind of long, like let's say a week or something like that?
That's an excellent question, Anthony. What I found, let's start with strength. Every time I have fasted, whenever I've supercompensated and loaded back up on food after the fast, there's always been a net gain of strength. I can definitely say that. And that's just not me alone. I've seen it with other people also. As far as muscle mass goes, I have gained muscle, but other people have done better than me in that department. With me, it's been strength. And if fasting is done periodically, you will definitely get leaner also.
Absolutely. So if you're worried about muscle mass, go ahead and fast anyway, because it's going to benefit your health, and you're going to get a massive growth hormone response from fasting. The training gives you a good growth hormone response, but fasting gives you a much bigger growth hormone response, and that's the anti-aging, fat-burning, muscle-building hormone that we all want to have as high as possible via natural methods. I want to thank John again for being a continued influence and a teacher to me about detox, and get people in your life that can help you to walk the path of being healthy, training hard, and just enjoying good health.
Well, thank you, Anthony. I hope this inspires people to explore the power of fasting.
Absolutely.